Some people walk through the world as if they carry a secret. They feel too much, see what no one else sees, and are drawn to questions that have no easy answers. They weren't born to go with the flow, and no matter how much they try to fit in, something always pulls them out of the crowd. Perhaps you are one of those people. Have you noticed that certain pains seem to prepare you for something greater? That some experiences in your life weren't random, but carried a hidden meaning, as if someone were training you silently? This is not coincidence. It's preparation. And few understand this until they truly awaken. There is a group of people who bear invisible scars. They didn't choose this path, but they were chosen by it. They are tested, challenged, shaped by the fire of life. They are observed, attacked, but they are also protected, because they were born to fulfill a mission that surpasses the ordinary. If what you experience seems bigger than you, stay here. You may be about to discover that you are not alone, that there is a name for everything you feel, for all the battles you have faced in silence. And that name is chosen. In this video, I will reveal 10 clear signs that mark the lives of the chosen. But don't expect a religious explanation or a prepared speech. What you will hear here is real, profound, and can change the way you see your own story. It doesn't matter where you are now. What matters is that you have made it here. And perhaps that is already part of the plan. So stay with me until the end. Listen carefully, and allow something inside you to awaken, because the signs are there, and they don't appear by chance. If any part of this message touches your heart, follow the channel right now. This is where the chosen recognize themselves, and maybe today you will discover that you have always been one of them. Sign 1. An inner call that doesn't let you rest. There is something inside you that insists on speaking, even when everything around is silent. A persistent feeling that life has a greater purpose, and that somehow you are part of it. No matter how much time passes, this call remains there, alive, pulsating. This feeling is not common anxiety. It is a restlessness that does not fade with distractions. It doesn't matter how many projects you attempt, jobs you change, or places you visit. There is always this quiet voice that asks, "Is this all I came here to do?" Many perceive this call in childhood or adolescence, a sense that they see the world differently, as if there were a veil that needs to be lifted. You feel that you are here for something deeper, even if you can't yet explain what it is. This sign doesn't come with a manual or map. It simply accompanies you, like an internal compass that insists on pointing to another path, one that not everyone is willing to follow. Sometimes this isolates you, makes you question everything, but even so, you can't ignore it. You might even try to live a common life, follow the norms, blend in. But at some point, this impulse pulls you back. It's as if the whole world becomes muffled, and only this internal voice grows stronger. Many chosen ones try to suffocate this call out of fear, insecurity, or doubt. But it always returns. And each time it is clearer. When you start to listen, everything changes. The pieces begin to fit together, and what was once restlessness becomes direction. This is the first sign that there is something different about you. Don't ignore it. It is through this that your true path begins to reveal itself. Sign 2. When life tests you beyond the normal. Have you noticed that while others seem to go through calm phases, you are always facing something difficult? Sometimes it's an unexpected loss. Other times it's a door that closes at the most sensitive moment. Everything seems more intense, heavier, deeper, and it's no coincidence. Ordinary people live ordinary problems, but those who carry a different purpose face different battles, not because they deserve to suffer, but because they need to be prepared. And the preparation of a chosen one almost never happens in comfort. It happens in the desert, on dark days, in the pains that no one understands. Many times, you feel like you are fighting with weapons you don't have against walls that seem insurmountable. But somehow, you survive, you resist, and even though you are broken inside, you continue. It is at this point that a sign reveals itself. What sustains you is not physical strength, it is something spiritual. The chosen one learns in practice that certain falls are not the end. They are the push that leads you to climb invisible steps. Each challenge, no matter how painful it seems, has a hidden purpose: to shape who you are becoming. It's as if pain molds your character for missions you cannot yet imagine. You may not see the meaning right now. You may be in the midst of one of those moments when everything seems to be crumbling. But if there is something that chosen ones have in common, it is that they always rise with more clarity, more faith, and more courage. If your life seems to have more struggles than victories, do not blame yourself. You are being trained. And those who are trained this way were not born to live small. These challenges that crush you today are the same ones that will reveal you tomorrow. Pay attention. This is also a sign. Sign 3. A heart that feels what no one sees. Not everyone notices when someone is feeling bad, but you do. Just a glance, a tone of voice, or even silence. It's as if the suffering of others pierces you, even if it has nothing to do with you. This is not weakness. It is spiritual sensitivity. You feel the pain that many ignore. You cry for people you don't even know, root for victories that aren't yours, and get emotional about stories that others only listen to out of politeness. This happens because your heart has been trained to see beyond the surface. This sensitivity is not common. Those who have been set apart for something greater tend to feel the world more intensely. While others move on, you stop. While others judge, you listen. And even when no one sees value in it, you continue to care. It's difficult to carry this empathy, especially when no one seems to do the same for you. But the chosen one understands that they have been called to embrace, not to hide. They feel the pains of the world because they have been prepared to heal, even if it's with a simple gesture, a word, or just by being present. This deep empathy makes you different. You can't turn your back on those who suffer. Even tired, even with your own problems, something in you always finds the strength to reach out. It's not about being better than others. It's about being connected to something greater. Your heart feels what it feels because it was shaped to touch lives, not just to exist. If you are always moved by the pain of others and have the impulse to help without expecting anything in return, this is more than kindness. It is a clear sign. The world needs hearts like this, and perhaps yours has been chosen precisely for that reason. Sign 4. A life of renunciations that no one sees. Those who are chosen almost never have an easy path. While many live seeking comfort and security, you find yourself having to give up things you once wanted deeply. Sometimes it's plans, other times, people. And no matter how painful it is, deep down, you know you are following something greater than your own will. There are moments when you have to choose the harder path, even when you could take the simpler route. You feel that certain decisions are not just yours. It's as if there were an invisible hand guiding you, and even without understanding the reason for so many losses, you continue. The renunciation in the life of the chosen is not only external, it happens within. You change thoughts, values, desires. What once motivated you no longer makes sense. There is a constant change happening, as if you are being refined from the inside out, day after day. Many of these renunciations no one sees. They are silent struggles, decisions made in private, nights when you cried silently for having left something behind. But even so, something sustains you. It's as if each loss creates space for something more aligned with your purpose. Living this way can be lonely. Not everyone will understand your choices. Some people even judge you for seeming radical or complicated. But only you know how you feel inside. Only you know the weight you are carrying, and the certainty that, despite everything, you are on the right path. This ability to renounce, to let go of what the world values, to follow an invisible calling, is not common. It is a sign of a heart that has been set apart, trained, and guided for something beyond what the eyes can see. If this is your reality, do not doubt. You have been chosen. Sign 5. When truth touches you in a different way. Not everyone feels the same thing when hearing a spiritual message. For some, they are just words. But for you, there is something more. Certain passages pierce you, make you stop, think, and even cry. It's as if they are speaking directly to you, even if they were written centuries ago. You read something simple and suddenly it seems like an exact answer to what you are experiencing. A phrase, a verse, even a random thought. And there it is. A deep understanding comes that cannot be explained logically. It's as if the spirit recognizes something that the mind is still trying to comprehend. This is not a coincidence. This sensitivity to capture hidden truths is a sign. Those who are chosen often possess a type of wisdom that has not been taught. It arises in silence, in observation, in moments of introspection. While others walk by, you see what was hidden. Sometimes this understanding comes in dreams, during a prayer, or even in the middle of an ordinary day. It's as if the universe is whispering things that only you can hear clearly. You feel that you are being guided, not by external voices, but by something that speaks within you. And even without knowing everything or having all the answers, there is a quiet certainty in your heart. You know when something is true. You feel when a message is meant for you. And when that happens, something within you changes. This ability to connect with spiritual truths in such a direct way is rare. It's not about having technical knowledge. It's about being in tune. Those with this sensitivity carry a different kind of mission and need to learn to trust this connection. If you live experiences like this, do not doubt. This is also a sign. You have been set apart to hear what few can perceive. Sign 6. Your life changed completely at some point. Some people follow a straight line their entire lives. You do not. At some point in your journey, something turned you inside out. It could have been a loss, a crisis, a significant experience, or even a moment of deep silence. But after that, nothing was the same as before. What made sense no longer did. What motivated you lost its appeal. Your values changed, and your choices did too. You began to see life with different eyes, and even without fully understanding, something inside you told you that there was no turning back. This transformation was not light. It shook your emotions, your way of thinking, and the people around you. In many cases, you had to distance yourself, let go, and start over. It seemed like the end, but in reality, it was the beginning of something much greater, the beginning of your awakening. It is not just any change, it is something that redefines who you are on the inside. That old version no longer fits you. And despite some people not understanding, you know that this change was necessary. It freed you from a path that wasn't yours and brought you closer to your mission. Deep transformations like this are not common. They do not come just to teach. They come to reposition, to align you with the purpose that has always existed, but was asleep. It's as if life had put you against the wall just to remind you who you really are. If your story has this turning point, a very clear before and after, this is a sign. Chosen ones are often awakened through crises, so they stop merely surviving and begin to live with purpose. This change you experienced, it did not destroy you. It revealed you. Sign 7. When you pray for others as if it were for yourself. Not everyone has the habit of stopping to pray for someone. Most only seek the spiritual when they are suffering or in moments of desperation. But with you, it is different. Praying has become something natural. You don't speak to the high only out of necessity. You speak out of connection, love, and compassion. And the most curious thing, many times your prayer isn't even for you. It is for someone going through something difficult. It could be a family member, a friend, someone you don't even know well. Even so, you feel that you need to intercede, as if you are carrying the weight that the other person cannot bear. This impulse to pray for others does not come from outside. It comes from within. You feel in your heart when someone needs spiritual support, and you can't ignore it. It's as if your soul responds automatically to any sign of pain, even when no one asks you for help. Have you ever found yourself waking up at dawn, wanting to pray for someone specific? Or have you ever felt an inexplicable anguish, and shortly after, discovered that someone close to you was going through a tough time? These are spiritual signs, and those who carry this type of sensitivity are not just anyone. Chosen ones have this silent role. They are like spiritual guardians in the midst of chaos. They do not show off, do not announce, they just pray. And often this prayer carries more power than any visible action, because it comes from a pure place, the sincere desire to lighten another's burden. If you have ever been moved praying for someone you didn't even know needed prayer, if you feel that your mission is to uplift people even when you yourself are tired, then understand, this is a gift, a silent mission, and one of the deepest signs that you have been chosen. Sign 8. When you are tempted but choose to stay strong. Life presents choices all the time. Some are simple, others carry an invisible weight, and in many moments, temptation comes disguised. It doesn't immediately seem dangerous or wrong, but deep down, you feel that it could pull you away from who you really are. Everyone makes mistakes, but the chosen one has something different. They feel when they are about to stray from their path. Even if the desire hits hard, even if it seems easier to give in, there is an inner strength that makes them stop, reflect, and often say no. This strength does not come from external rules, but from awareness. It's as if their soul knows that every choice has an impact beyond the moment. They understand that there are things the normal world normalizes that do not match their essence. And that makes all the difference. You have faced situations that tested your limits, moments when no one would see if you gave in. And still, you resisted. Not because it was convenient, but because you knew you were being watched by something greater. Because your peace is worth more than any momentary pleasure. In other phases, you may have even fallen. But even when that happened, you did not stay down. You felt regret, learned, and stood up more aware. The mistake did not define you. It shaped you. And this ability to rise up is, in itself, a sign of spiritual strength. Being chosen does not mean being perfect. It means being sensitive to what is right, even when what is wrong seems easier. It means being able to choose good when no one is watching. It is to resist inwardly, even when everything around pushes in the opposite direction. If you feel this weight in your choices, this silent responsibility in small decisions, understand, you are not just trying to do what is right. You are responding to a calling. This awareness is rare, and it is another mark of those who have been chosen for something greater. Sign 9. You motivate without wanting to. Connect effortlessly. Have you noticed that people seek you out when they are lost? That even on your toughest days, someone always appears wanting advice, a word, or just your company. This happens because you have something different, a presence that inspires, even when you are not trying. You don't need to force authority. You don't need to speak loud or stand out. Your strength lies in the way you see others. You look with respect, with empathy. And just that changes someone's day. Those who have this perspective transform without even realizing it. Some leaders emerge from positions. Others, like you, are born with this natural influence. It's as if your energy has the ability to align and organize chaos. Amid confusion, you are the point of balance. Those who approach feel it, and often leave feeling lighter. Perhaps you think it is just a characteristic of yours, but it's not. It is a mission disguised as a way of being, a silent responsibility. Because those who shine like this cannot pretend they do not see. And you, even when tired, continue to be a support for many. Chosen ones do not just carry talents, they carry presence. They are a bridge for those who are lost. They are a mirror for those who cannot see themselves. And above all, they are an anchor for those who are adrift. Your influence comes from the soul, not from the ego, and that is rare. If you inspire trust, if people approach you easily, if your word has lifted someone up, then accept. Your light is not common. And this is yet another sign that your existence here has much more purpose than you imagine. Sign 10. Peace in the midst of chaos. You may be going through a storm on the outside, but inside, something remains steadfast. Even on the hardest days, there is a calm that makes no sense. While everything seems to be falling apart, you take a deep breath and carry on. This silent peace does not come from outside. It arises from the purpose that sustains you within. Other people panic in the face of difficulties, but you react differently. Not because you are insensitive or better. It's because you have learned to trust. To trust that there is something greater guiding your steps. This trust generates a peace that cannot be explained. It can only be felt. Chosen ones often carry this uncommon peace. Even with overdue bills, family problems, or pains that no one sees, they continue. They know that turbulence passes, but purpose remains. And that makes all the difference. Sometimes even you don't understand why you are not in despair. But deep down, you know. There is something taking care of everything. And even when everything seems out of place, your spirit remains silent, observing, waiting for the next step. This is faith in the form of serenity. This peace that no one can understand is a sign that you are aligned with your essence. And when this happens, even chaos cannot throw you off center. You feel the mess, yes, but it does not dominate you. Because inside you, there is already direction. Recognizing these signs is not about feeling better than anyone else. It is about assuming the spiritual responsibility of carrying light in a confusing world, of listening to what others ignore, of feeling before seeing, of standing tall even when the ground disappears. Now that you know, it becomes harder to go back, because something has been awakened. And once awake, there is no longer any way to sleepwalk through life. You will start to see life with more purpose, more clarity, more truth. And that changes everything. If what you heard today touched your heart, follow the channel right now. You do not have to walk alone. Here you will be remembered, supported, and strengthened by those who also carry this calling. And go ahead and comment below. What signs do you carry within you? I want to know in which moments you recognized yourself. Your story matters, and it can inspire others who are still awakening.